Well, y'all, ma, da. What's goody to the goddess and the gods, and what's popping to the people? Well, like we always do about this time. I'm just unpacking my things, and we're gonna get heavy in here, baby. Like, woo! Tonight might be the night. I'm gonna be honest with you. Tonight is love me or hate me night. We drawing a line in the sand. Tonight is. Well, hold on. I don't want to give Reese's no extra promo till they cut the check. So, we're out of there. Reese's cut the check. I'm probably one of your best bargains. But so now what we doing is it's gonna be heavy tonight. Like, Yahoo Queen. Oh, young Chase, the future champ. The future champ in the building. What's happening, baby? How you feeling, God? Hey, man, we getting that fan page up real soon. Young Chase. Boy, the hand, we calling him. Young Chase, the hand. y'all gonna be able to follow the young guy real soon. We getting this fan page together, ASAP Rocky. So tonight we gonna deal. Oh yeah, this the night. You picked the perfect night. Zone 1 in the building. Brother Jay, what's to it, God? The goddess Yahoo Queen. Yeah, y'all picked it. This is a fabulous night for y'all to be here. I'm about to turn the knob so high tonight. I got some shit on my mind, but what I did, like I told the guys, man, the guys got a super dope room on Clubhouse. I don't know if they want to be plugged, but if they do, I'm gonna plug them. They got probably the dopest room I done been in, and man, the knowledge be so thick and heavy in there. So I was thinking, since we've been rocking so hard lately, I was gonna take all of those things, and because to me it all came to a head, and I figured like we're gonna put it all in the pot. So then that's when I came up with. Hold on for a second, y'all. I see him right here. The last one, it was another. Oh, here it go right here. That's when I came up with this. Now, I'm forewarning. Tonight will not be for the faint of heart. If I don't at some point piss you off, I didn't do my job. Now, it's going to be up to you whether your mind is strong enough to endure the end and see where this is all headed. Because I promise you it's going to make sense. But in order to really get the point across, I see it's certain things that I just kind of been grazing over, and we need to just really fucking deal with them. Because it's all part of racial Stockholm syndrome. We have become obsessed with our captor. And that is really, 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 really a thing. And so it's gotta get to a point where, put it to you this way. You could come with any, and I challenge anybody. I'm not even gonna give you the answer. You could come with any question, any dilemma. I don't give random. Any dilemma you have, put it in the chat. And I got In 3 words, I could answer any dilemma. I'm about to make history tonight. I don't care what it is. You could not even be from this planet. Not from this country. If you're not from this country and you come up with a plan, a problem that is something from your country that I've never been in, and I probably wouldn't know how to fix it, guaranteed I could tell you the answer to the problem tonight, right here live. I can solve any dilemma on the planet with just 3 words. So that's what we're doing. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what those 3 words are, but I'm guaranteeing, and I'm putting money on it. If I don't have the answer, I'll cash app you $50. If you can come up with a problem that I cannot answer in 3 words only, I'll cash app you $50. Now, with that being said, we're going to do some rocking and rolling tonight. It's going to get real heavy. Now, the first problem, we got to deal with the elephant in the fucking room. But the reason why we dealing with it is not for the reason y'all think. I'm only dealing with it because it's frustrating that I keep pointing this out and we still don't get it. It's a fucking game. So now, you're seeing on one level, you're seeing the true essence of what it means to be a megastar. But when we see it in this form, it's just in an ugly form. But all megastars do what Kanye's doing. He's just better at it than most. He can go anywhere that will pay him. He is above no behavior that will lead to a check being cut. And if you think that White Lives Matter shit he just pulled ain't gonna turn into a check, you're not paying attention. You gotta, to be aware is to be alive. So it's a couple things we gotta deal with. Well, let's deal with the obvious. Well, for me, it was the obvious. I noticed, like, he waited to go with the White Lives Matter joint. He waited until he came with the lumberjack, the beard. That ain't the beard that you see in the Brothers in the Hood rocking, the well-rounded, well-kept superstar. But no, that's the nappy lumberjack grow, because I stay in Canada ass face. Mustache going 7 different directions. That's not well-kept. That's just, I don't give a fuck. So the look resonates with the message. And now you got Candace. I don't give a shit about being Black Owens. Who better than to push this thing right along? But now, this is the same guy that was just walking around fucking Manhattan or wherever the fuck he was walking around with boots on the size of your television and oversized coats and getting other celebrities to do it with him. What's Kanye really saying? See, don't look at the act. What's Kanye really saying? Hansel and Gretel, let's follow the breadcrumbs. What's Kanye really saying to us? There's Kanye. Now, look at the audience. Don't look at the picture, look at the audience. You're seeing a packed stadium. Look down low. Floor side. Look at the people with the cameras. Look at the other side, or the stage side. Look at the people on the stage side with the cameras. Look where the cameras are pointed. The cameras are not pointed at Kanye. What are we looking at? Who are you dealing with? See, the emotionalism is not going to get us where we need to be. What are we seeing right here? You brothers and sisters, kings and queens, you must break down everything. What are we looking at right here? You got the biggest star in the hip hop genre. I'm not saying the most popular. I'm not saying he sells the most. I'm saying he's the biggest. He is the biggest name in hip hop. He accomplishes the most. He gets the most juice all over the planet. He's enormous. Now, with a following that large, and you decide, hey, the Lord is touching me. I'm going Christian. Jesus, he came in again with Jesus Walks. He said ain't nothing going right for him, so he going back to that. So he come out with the Jesus is King album. And now, you got the whole world watching. And what you brought on stage was a God that looks like your oppressor. A white Jesus, Kanye? A white Jesus. You had the whole world watching. And you brought a white Jesus on stage, Kanye. And I pointed out stage side because the cameras are pointing at Jesus. You have to understand how the psyche works. In people's mind, they are really connecting to Jesus. This is a real thing. They're taking pictures of a guy dressed like Christ, knowing damn well that ain't him, but they're in awe. Kanye got the lights perfect. He holding the ceremony, and people are taking pictures of Jesus, a white guy. And the common thought is, if the Son of God is white, then God is white. So when people tell you it doesn't make a difference what color, if the Son of God is white, then God is white. And then y'all say, well, that ain't the real Jesus. Jesus was black. So why, if the real Jesus is black, and that's the Lord and Savior, the one who died for your sins, and you really in your heart believe this, why do you allow them to show the world a lie? See, this is the game you play. What do you believe? What do you believe? It's either real or it's not. If this is the real deal, and you are a messenger for that which you believe, why do you allow that which you believe to be disgraced by your enemy? You know why? Because in your mind, your God allowed it. So who are you? When you take one sip of the Kool-Aid, you might as well drink the whole damn glass. Once they can get you to subscribe to something that's not yours, you no longer get to dictate anything. You can have an opinion. You can put cute little pictures up in your house of a black Jesus. But when that Catholic dude have mass in the middle of the streets and millions of people come, it's a white Jesus right there for the world to see. So who cares about the little fucking picture in your house that nobody gets to see? That's just a game you play with you. What's the real? The real is you say you believe in a savior that you're not willing to protect. You say you love black people that you're not willing to protect. So what are you willing to do? See, this is why I say tonight gonna be tough. This might be some of the roughest shit I ever said, but the game's gotta stop. What are you willing to do? Because we already know what you're not willing to do. Now, Mr. Jesus walks. Where we at 2 years later? Where we at 2 years later after Jesus walks? How do we end up here, Kanye? The album release, your wife dressed like a vampire, and you dressed like some type of fucking... Why is his face covered? Why did he spend the whole ceremony with his face covered? And why is Mr. Jesus walks hanging out with the leader of the satanic church? Why is Mr. Jesus walks hanging out with the leader of the satanic church? And what the fuck is the baby doing there? See, we got to know it when we see it and stop justifying these things. But that's why we right here. Racial Stockholm syndrome. Because you can see this right here, and you can see this right here, and you can see this right here. But then what? What the fuck is this? That's Stacey Dash. How is that Stacey Dash? Miss Mo Money? That's Stacey Dash. And y'all still think this shit a game. You're watching people morph into damn near other species right in front of you. You're watching them change a person's race right before your very eyes. How many people race have we seen them change? And we're going to justify all of this behavior. And I say this all the time. The reason why we're going to justify this behavior is because it's right here. The moment that any of this quote unquote conscious shit starts to resonate with you, you can no longer justify the shit you've been justifying. And I know people get offended, but these are justifications. And so this is the problem. Like, everybody want to tell it, but nobody want to hear it. What's the reality? We're fucking scared. They have convinced us that there's a monster in the closet and we better not do shit. Why else do we allow this? Watch this. Watch how quick this works. You got, and I'm not picking on anybody. I'm finna get everybody tonight. Everybody must go. Everybody got to deal with it. You got a particular group of black men that for the last 5-6 years have been for about the last 6 years have been heavily perpetuating this ideology that there are no slave ships. We didn't come from Africa. We were right here. They took the land from us here. I want to talk about that. I'm gonna, for the sake of this discussion, I'm gonna say you're right. You are 100% right. We didn't come from Africa. No slave ships. They took our land right here from us. Okay. Now what? Now that you won this argument with me, and I'm in agreement with you. You know what? Everything you saying makes sense, brother. I'm walking with it. Okay, so now that we have deciphered the fact that they took the land from us here, these people that's right here took the land from us that's right here. Okay. I'm walking with you. So what we gonna do? Because the argument over with. We've been debating this shit for the last 6 years. Debate over. You win. What we going to do now? See, that's the fucking thing. You just want to argue about shit. You don't want to do shit. If your argument is we didn't come from Africa, this is our land, they took it from us, fuck is you waiting on? You think they're going to hand it back to you? What the fuck is you waiting on? If this is your conclusion, as a man, as a warrior, as a black guy, you reached the conclusion, this is our shit and they took it from us. What you gonna do? Nothing. Because now you can't debate that fact no more. The next thing is a course of action. And that's not what you want to do. You want to talk about it. You don't want to do shit. That's called Stockholm Syndrome. Because according to you, you are a hostage on your own soil. And you get along with the motherfuckers who took you hostage. You work for them. You speak to them when you see them in public. See, this is a game we play. It all boils down to there is a thing that actually happened. Not opinions, not thought processes and ideologies. There are things that actually happen. We either want to get to the bottom of them or we don't. And if we want to get to the bottom of them, then let's be diligent and do so. And then once we get to the bottom of them, let's be prepared to act, not talk. And these are harsh words because these are harsh moments. And I see we lost a few, but that's okay. Maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. But this is the space right here. This uncomfortable space that we don't like to occupy. Because it's two-part. First, we got to find out what was done to us. Then we have to establish what we are willing to do about it. First, we must establish what was done to us. Then we must establish what we're willing to do about it. Then we must establish the proper methods in which to do so. See, this is called a course of action. Otherwise, what are we doing? There's no sense of finding out all of this interesting stuff just so we can know it. So, you got Rodney King gets what they say is the worst police brutality in history, in American history, rather. And then at the press conference, given the opportunity to speak, Rodney King utters the famous lines, "Can't we all just get along?" Now, your immediate response is sell out. How about this? How about terrified? When you receive the type of beating that man received and lived through it, you gonna relive that every night you go to sleep. It's kind of like what we do as little ghetto children. That's what the trauma is you see in our neighborhood. Every day we relive the trauma from the night before, and then we wake up and we act on it. It manifests in different ways. So when you hear Rodney saying, "Can we all just get along?" that's because he's terrified of the opposite side of that. So when you see Kanye with a shirt that says "White Lives Matter," that's a white flag he waving. It's not, of course it's cooning, but it's deeper than cooning. This is Stockholm. This is white flag. I want to cooperate with the abuse. That's the difference. That's the difference between cooning. I want to cooperate. Cooning is trying to get a position. There's no position that he desires. He has the position he fought for. So what is he really doing? White flag. I've been heavily talking to people, or my people, not people, talking to my people, and in the chats, and having discussions about hip hop a lot lately. And so one of the queens made a post today, and she said, what's with these young men that when they get into it, as opposed to, scrapping it out like men, they go to shooting each other. And now, a lot of people are not going to agree with what I'm about to say, because this is my hardest fight amongst my people. And so I'm going to try to put it in a space where it's clearly understandable. I'm blaming hip hop. I'm blaming rap music. But I always just say that without a clear-cut explanation of what I'm saying, without it being in sections. So I'm going to lay it all the way out why I'm saying what I'm saying. When you look at entertainment in general, because hip-hop is just the next form of music that we created. As you can see, as a people, we evolved from different levels of musical revolution, change, whatever you want to call it. So like I said this the other day, I said it started on a plantation. For this paradigm anyway, it starts on the plantation, and you literally had certain plantations that were well known for the level of entertainment that the slaves could provide at that specific place. And then you would have other plantation people coming from all over the country, white folk, to watch these particular things. And so now, at this particular time, what does a slave have to sing about is oppression. What else the fuck else you experiencing? The slight moments of joy and oppression. So now, this sells. So now, how long does it take before a master realize that the level of musical performance is determined by passion, and that passion will be determined by what you endure. So every level of music you see from us, you see pain and passion within that music. And love. Love, pain, and passion are our primary focuses in our music. And then you see it escalating to where extreme passion and pain that is not dealt with formulates into other things. So you have a culture that is built off of the expression that it expresses after it has been pained, if I made that make sense. So now we fast forward to rap, and when you hear the bars, you hear pain. See, we can't. This is a space where we don't like to be held accountable, because even if I say 10 things that make sense right now, you instinctually are gonna find one thing wrong, because if you agree with everything I'm about to say right now, then you have to question self. And we hate questioning self. We hate having to recalibrate, like, ooh, that's wrong. I have to really endure that and live that moment. And then I have to grow past that moment. But we have to deal with it. So when you listen to the music, you hear drug abuse, you hear crime, you hear murder, you hear infidelity, baby mama, baby daddies. Very, very little talk about wives, um, uh, proper way to financially run things, how to structure business. You don't hear the things that are really part of manhood and adulthood. See, as an adult, you have to know how to pay your bills. You have to know how to do certain things, fill out forms, look for jobs. You have to know how to do certain things or build the economy, know economics, know the stocks. You got to know certain things as an adult. As a rapper, you don't have to know shit but how to rap. So this lifestyle, because we're saying don't judge the kids, it's just a lifestyle. Don't judge us, it's just us doing our thing. Okay, well, let's just break down what our thing is. We don't got to judge it. Let's just break it down. We get so defensive because don't judge. No, we're not going to judge nothing. We're just going to break it down. So let's break down what we're calling our thing. Let's break down what we're calling our music. Because within these bars, we're not speaking unity. We're not speaking love and empowerment into each other. So no matter how I personally feel, I don't mind a good gangster rap song, but I can't listen to it because of what it does. And this is just a moment of being honest. So now, if I'm a rapper, or if I'm a young man seeking to become a rapper, you got to spend a lot of time in the studio. Okay, like you got to get that studio money. So now you got two options. One option is you can hustle. I mean, you can get a job and work to fund your music career. But now the type of music you have to make. Now let's deal with that. What's going to be the subject matter? Because right now you're working just to pay for studio time, so you don't have the money to majorly finance a career, which means you're going to need distribution and help. So you're going to need to try to sign some type of deal or get some type of momentum going. So now I said that to say this. Subject matter is going to matter. What are you going to talk about? So the average rapper is going to talk about street things. Or according to y'all, we're going to keep it how you say. I talk about my environment. Okay, so your environment is the hood, so that's what you're going to talk about. But we both know a large percentage of the things that you're going to say, you're going to embellish. Fake it till you make it. But this image is about you got to have cars, you got to have clothes, and you got to have money. So you're going to keep finding ways to push that image. Cars, clothes, money, women, that type of deal. Now, none of these things teach you about being a young adult. But you're on the come up trying to make this music career happen. So it's just all about the studio rapping. Okay, so now, case in point, if we should get to a point where the rap thing doesn't do what we thought it would do, which happens on the 80th percentile, most young rappers don't make it, just like most NBA stars, football stars. So it's not judging the artist. It's just that there's a small window open, and you could be great and just don't make it. So now, once that artist reaches mid-20s and has not hit their mark in music, they did not learn how to be a young man. They did not learn how to be successful in a relationship. They did not learn how to be with their children every single day. So what you have is a young man who's not really a man. And our community is full of them. So this has nothing to do with knocking anyone. This is our reality that we living with every day. Now, these young men are the young men that are outside hustling. We're not judging. This is a reality. So now, let's go to the flip side of it. We know, if we being honest, a large percentage of these young men rapping are doing what they're saying. So are we going to keep hiding behind this weak ass, they just telling their story? That's just how it is. Okay, I'm gonna play that game with you then. Tonight, I got all the game plan you want. So they just telling their story. Now I have to ask you, black man, do you agree with their story? this story about bitches ain't shit. You can't trust these hoes. Money over everything. Shoot a nigga in the head if he play with my money. Sip lean, pop perk, give me a Zanny. That's what's in the music. Big choppers. That's what's in the music. Now, do you agree with it? It's just I'm telling the story. Do you agree with that? Because if you do, you got a fucking issue. And if you don't, which even if you did for the sake of discussion because you know it's wrong, you'd be like, no, I don't agree with that. So, okay, if you don't agree with that, why you accept it? Why you accept these youngers just telling their story if it's so fucked up and you know it ain't right? Why haven't you exerted yourself into some type of position so you can help these youngers change their story? Why do you accept it? See, it ain't nowhere around this shit tonight. No matter what you say to me, on what side, why have you accepted it? Because if you think ain't nothing wrong at all, you shouldn't even fucking be listening to me right now. What the fuck you listening to me for? You got it all figured out. We here figuring things out. So if you got it all figured out, this is the last place you need to be. We're here to figure some shit out. So if you are here to figure some shit out, then why, again, are we accepting certain things? So if I say, when I look at hip hop, right now, you got about 5 females. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like 2 or 3 of them, I have no clue who they are. Maybe it's about 6 hip hop females rapping. I don't know. But like most of them, I have no clue who they are. But you got, I go with the top 3 though. I go with the top 3. And I'm older, so y'all probably will tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But let's look at what we know on the top. What we've been seeing on the top, or top 3, 4, whatever. Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Remy Ma. What do you see? Half naked, smoking, drinking, talking boss shit like cocky shit, like masculine energy type shit, legs open, like, and then you'll say I'm judging them and then say, and I don't want to look, I'm not doing that tonight. If in your mind it's okay for women to undertake masculine energy, then you'll be the same person justifying men taking on feminine energy. And if you're okay with that, then that's fine. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to talk about what's best for Black folks. And see, we get in this space where as soon as we hear certain information that make us uncomfortable, we start personalizing it. You cannot get into your God essence and your goddess essence personalizing information. You take it in, you dissect it all. We under the impression that because I don't agree, you ain't right. Who the fuck said that? Whoever said because you don't agree, I ain't right? Baba Dick Gregory used to say all the time, I don't need your ignorance to validate my intelligence. Now, I'm not that harsh with saying it, but that's a real statement. Ignorance cannot validate intelligence. So if I'm saying something that you never heard before, that don't make me wrong. That just means you never heard it before. This is what we have to grow out of if we ever want to get out of our current situation. Currently, we're watching young Black men die at a rate faster than we've ever seen. Those young Black men primarily listen to gangster trap rap music. You, on the other hand, will sit on your ass and give every justification of why that ain't it, knowing damn well it drove you. I never got outside and went to go do street shit without street music on. Are you kidding me? I don't want to listen to no fucking Barry Manilow when I'm going trapping. No fucking rock and roll. I want to hear the beats banging. I want to hear them talking about the women I'm looking for. I want to hear them talking about the crack I'm trying to get off. I want to hear them talk about shooting at the people I want to shoot. That's what the fuck I want to hear. So stop acting like that ain't what you want to hear when you turn that shit on. And everybody ain't going to process it the way you did. Some of us are able to process it to a space where we make sense out of it. And then we can compartmentalize it and keep it moving. But these little kids can't. You know why? Because you didn't have YouTube. They can go right now, get bored, grab 2 choppers, turn the camera on, and dance with a blunt in their mouth. You couldn't do that. Who made it this way? That's never what we want to deal with. We never want to deal with. It's like doctor come to you, say you got cancer. First thing you do is go to crying and some more shit. You ain't gonna ask how you got it, where'd it come from or nothing. White man say you got cancer. Oh Lord, first thing you do is call Jesus. You ain't talked to Jesus in 14 years flat. White boy tell you gonna die tomorrow. Oh, Jesus, Father. Look, how you get cancer? What the fuck happened? I want to know some shit. Listen, men got this thing where they expect women to just fall in line. Just because I'm a man, you won't listen to me. If she asks you about the new Jordans, yeah, I got that information. Ask you about anything going on in the hip-hop world, yeah, I got that information. Ask you anything about some pro-black shit. Ask you anything about some science and some history. Shit get real foggy. How you not prepared to lead your queen out of the goddamn lion's nest, but you prepared for her to listen? When did we get to this phase where men don't want to know how the world works? What the fuck? I thought, according to y'all, men run the world. But we got an era of men that don't care how the world works. Well, I'll be damned. They told y'all the black woman is the most educated person on the planet. Less niggas went to college. Y'all didn't even care. Y'all just started bragging about her. Yeah, like, yeah, the black woman is the smartest woman on the planet. You want to help her out? Maybe read some of those fucking books she done with? This is a game. And you're so comfortable that you don't understand you're no longer playing the game, you're getting played. You have become the Xbox 2000 or whatever the fuck number they on with you now. You're the game now. They can push your buttons and control you. If you don't know where the fuck you came from, what's gonna stop you from going back? Why? I'm sorry. I know my brothers is not gonna like this one. I'm apologizing in advance. Why do grown men spend entire days, multiple days in a row, sitting in front of a tail live vision, watching other grown men tackle each other? Now, before you say anything, let me finish. These football games are held in the Coliseum. Now, the Coliseum was built by the Greeks. Now, why did the Greeks build the Colosseum? There used to be a time where men actually gave a fuck about what went on in the world. And men spent most of their days understanding what's going on in the world. So in a time like that, you can imagine how annoying it is trying to hustle the people when all of the people are smart as fuck. So like, it's like now they get on the news and tell you that there's an airborne virus and everybody's going to die, even though the air filters itself and that's not possible. See, you couldn't have ran that script back then because everybody was way too fucking smart. They would have looked at the establishment, laughed, and declared war. So what I'm saying is, then somebody came up with the idea of activities to keep these people's mind off of what the fuck we doing. So Coliseums were built. And initially, it was 7 days straight, either 7 or 14 days straight of just straight fun and games, no responsibilities. Nobody got to go to work. Nobody got to do nothing. Straight. And every year during that time, because the oppression was so heavy, everybody was looking forward to a free week or two of festivities. And during that time period, this is when the establishment made all the laws and procedures. So by the time you came back off your playtime, it's up. We got a whole new thing going on. So now, what I'm saying to you is, coliseums and games were created so that men don't pay attention to other men ruling over them. Because you have to think about what's going on in the world scale. Every day, white men and other foreign men from other nations are having enormous press conferences making decisions over you. Every single day this happens. Every single day you wake up and go work for them and hope you don't get in trouble by them while they make decisions on you. And there's nothing saying that this has to happen other than we sit there and accept it. Now, people say, well, what are we supposed to do? The answer to that is so simple. It's funny and damn near infuriating that we even have to ask. So I'm going to say this again. Every day, grown men who would tell me if I asked them were they free, they would tell me they were free to do what the fuck they wanted to do. Those same men, every single day, they wake up to a world where other men sit around and decide their fate. And you call that freedom. And when I say, and when people say, well, what are we supposed to do? Watch how profound this is. Don't accept it. You're like, what does that mean? Don't accept it. Who says you have to accept people sitting over there and making decisions about everything that has to do with your existence? Well, what are we supposed to do? They got guns, I'll tell you again, one more time. Don't accept it. Period. And until that makes sense to you, then none of this other shit will. Let me say it to you this way. There's land outside that came with this planet. A lot of you brothers and sisters have gotten into this market called real estate. And you're moving and shaking with the big wigs, buying and selling houses and property and making a couple dollars and all of that. And that's cool. But here's what's interesting to me. Who told somebody that the land that this planet came with, they could put a fence and a sign on and make someone else pay for it? Who decided that? Everybody believe in this God until we get to these moments like this. If God gave you the land and it came with the planet, how is someone else able to take that land, put fences up and signs on it, and say you must pay for it? And why do you allow it? And you'll drive right past with your wife, the same wife who you think she should obey you. You drive right past with her, and you say to her, damn, baby, look at that big ass house. Look at all that property they got. Isn't it amazing to be envious of your own shit? Isn't it fucking amazing to be envious of your own shit? Why do you accept it? Why do you allow it? This is the game. This is the problem. Just like I said before, the white boy had you in the house whooping your ass and raping you and your woman for 250 years. One day he wake up and say, nigga, get out. And you just walked out. And then you walked out into a world that still allowed them to treat you like they told you you're free now. And then you walked out into a world where you're no longer in the house chained up. And you let them ride past on a horse and whip your ass still. Am I judging those people? No, please don't say I'm disrespecting the ancestors. I'm merely pointing something out. It is a psychosis that allows a man to let another man treat him less than a man for any price. Either you believe in this God or you don't. Either you believe you divine or you don't. We talk this king queen shit, but we don't believe it. You can't possibly believe you the gods and goddesses of this planet and then address me funny when I say fuck rap music. You can't possibly tell me we kings and queens. We the first royalty. This used to be our planet. White people came from us. Y'all got all of this fancy pride talk. And I say, okay, I'm rocking with all of that. Well, your ancestors, these gods and goddesses, these kings and queens you referring to, they wasn't listening to anything that was poisoning their culture. You done got your head cut off for bringing this type of nonsense around here, defiling the queen in front of the king. You got your fucking throat cut and fed to the fucking livestock. Y'all want to talk this king, queen, this god shit. But you don't want to behave. You want to behave like the goddamn pauper. Which one are you? Are you greatness or are you them? You got all of these justifications. You can't bring up sexuality anymore because now I'm homophobic. I don't give a shit who you have sex with. Why do I care? But am I not supposed to tell you the ramifications of your actions? Am I not supposed to tell you how we got where we at? You are at war with people who cannot reproduce. They have a 0 birthing rate. Everybody you know got 3, 4, 5, 6 baby daddies and baby mamas. What that mean? We make way more children than at a rate 5 times higher than your enemy. So if you make children at a rate 5 times higher than your enemy, you literally could have sex and be back on top. You never have to swing a sword or shoot a pistol. Just wait them out and keep fucking. Or homosexuality could become the most popular thing in your country. It ain't my fucking opinion. I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion. This is called Misinformation Nation. This is not called Black Men's Opinion. I'm here to talk about the misinformation in the motherfucking nation. You've been misinformed when you think that they did not promote homosexuality in this country. You're a damn lie. You have personal reasons why you do or don't, will or will not resonate with the information, but the facts are there. Feel how you want to feel about it. It's got nothing to do with me. My job is to tell you. Black Lives Matter quickly became Trans Lives Matter. All young children. You got an organization called Black Lives Matter, ran by 4 gay and transgender women. Now, when I say that, people have a problem with that statement. Here's what you're missing. If Black Lives Matter, don't that mean the black man? And not one of you leaders found a black man fit. That's a thing, not my opinion. That's a thing. That has to be dealt with. Feel how you want to feel about it. Love who you want to love. But understand what you're dealing with. That's all I'm saying. That's just what we all got to do. We all got to understand what we up against. And then move how you want to move. Take the information, understand it, do your research, see where it's at, and keep it moving. But don't develop anything about me for saying what had to be said. Everything is transactional, even a fragile mind. Yeah, that's true. And we definitely got a lot of fucking fragile minds. But that's okay. What we need is willingness. Now, since nobody took me up on my challenge, I'm just going to prove that I was right in the first place. I said no matter what your question is, no matter what country or planet your question came from, I could answer any question you gave me with 3 words. Now watch this. No matter what question, no matter what problem you have, I said, no matter what dilemma that plagues you, I have the answer for it. Depression, bad relationship, bad attitude, people not treating you properly, you're not treating other people properly, anxiety, I don't know, whatever y'all come up with. It ain't over yet. What you got, Jay? Come on, what you got for me? I was just finna drop it. Come on with it. What you got for me, Jay? Any question, y'all, it's $50 on the line. If you can stump me with this question and I can't answer it in 3 words, I'm cash apping 50 right now. Drum roll, Jay. When the drum roll stop, I gotta shoot, baby. Here we go. 3 words, the answer to any dilemma you have on the planet. Here's the 3 words. Change your perception. Do it again. It was so fast you missed it. It was the Shaolin monk shit. Change your perception. Good, bad, right, wrong, left, right is all a matter of perception. Stress, dilemma, problems, those are words created by people. It's all a matter of perception. There's no such thing as a problem. It's a situation that needs a solution. What is stress? The end result of you having a situation and not finding a solution. Depression, same thing. These are just words given to you to create thoughts and feelings and actions. But what's your reality? You are a master of ceremony. So there's no such thing as a problem. You're just too lazy to look for the solution. All things exist at all times. So then every problem that is perceived to be a problem has a perceived solution. There's a yin for everything is polarity. So there's no such thing as a problem that can't be fixed. That would be imbalanced. The universe is balanced, polarity, which means every single problem that exists has a solution. The reason why you don't know the solution, because you have not done what? Change your perception. That should have been a two-way thing. I feel like I should be getting 50 right now, but it's cool. I love y'all. This is the biggest thing we're dealing with right now. You, me, we are in fucking denial. These people are so arrogant that every single thing, every single fucking thing they've ever done to you, they've put in a movie. It's amazing. I've been on my cartoon shit lately, especially superheroes. The amount of effort that they put into putting subliminal messages into cartoons is shit that your kids ain't even gonna understand. And they're the only ones in front of the television watching it. So what does that mean? These people are putting millions of dollars into suggestive messaging into the subliminal mind of your child. Child ain't even old enough to comprehend what they're seeing. And millions of dollars have been spent to trick them. So what you're not understanding is everything we accept, we are assisting in a thought process that's a building block. You're thinking in moments. So this particular moment wasn't so bad. And that particular moment could have been worse. And this particular moment was no big deal. But all of these moments are one thing that is snowballing. You don't see it because you're the victim. The puppet master knows exactly what they're doing. So when you come home from work, let's do this. When you get up in the morning, you get ready to go to work, you're an adult. What do they got on there? Good Morning America, the stock exchange, first thing in the morning. Now, you would say, if I was to ask you why are those things on, you would say they're putting on something that so that people who go to work can enjoy it on their way to work. What about if the programs are there to motivate your ass to go to work? See the difference? There's a difference. There's a difference in what I just said. There's a difference between the programming being there so that you have something to watch while you prepare for work, or the program being there to get your ass in the mood to go work for someone else's dreams. She just thinking, so Good Morning America, all of these talk shows, opinions, these are programming machines. Absolutely. They're there to get you and acquire a certain thought process. Now, for the stay-at-home mom or the older woman, what do they got for you? Game shows and soap operas. And then you stick around a little bit longer, and you start seeing shows like Maury and Steve with drama, daytime, the first reality shows. But there's a thing going on here. See, your brain is a sponge. It absorbs everything you put in it, and it reciprocates. So when I fill a sponge up with water, I can wring it out. The only problem is the water that I put in the sponge is not what's coming back out. That's tainted water. Now that water is taking pieces of everything it absorbed while it was in the sponge. That's what it's releasing. So what I'm saying is they put what they want in you, but what comes out could never be you anymore, because it's a reciprocation of all of these different things. You start becoming these things. If you watch Family Feud every day, that becomes a part of your genetic makeup. If you watching Luke and Laura and Days of Our Lives and all that every day, you become drama oriented in the mind, because that's what you're looking at. This is what you're resonating with as reality. You can't watch something repeatedly. See, your brain doesn't understand the things that you do in that manner. You understand like it's just a show. All your brain does is intake information. Your body responds to that the way you don't even know. So, like, for instance, when you see an action movie, like me, I'm the worst. When I see some shooting, oh my God, I lose it. Anybody who tell you I lose it. The more vicious it is, I'm rewinding and going crazy. But the thing is this right here. I am old enough, and I just was fortunate enough to be able to process and have a filter for that. But let's look at the average young man. Why you think it's so easy for these young men to pull the trigger and tote these big ass guns around? When we were youngsters, our goal was a handgun. Nobody wanted a chopper. If you got something big, it was a shotty. It wasn't. I mean, I ain't saying nobody had them, but that wasn't the goal. You just want a pistol. How did the desire for weaponry of the same men of the same age as we were, why do they want FNNs and all of this shit now? So you honestly think the number one game on the market became Call of Duty standing? You think that I learned this from playing with my kids. My kids are suburban. And I was playing with them one day. And bro, they know every fucking gun, the clip, the ammo. They know everything about weapons. How is two Negroes who never really left the house know everything about every kind of weapon, the clip, the guns? They know more shit about guns than me. And I've actually had them in my presence. They ain't had none. Now imagine that information in the minds of the young men that's out there trapping. They want that firearm. They want to be that guy in it. You don't think so, but this is like, see, y'all be quick to say that it ain't like that. Ain't no kid looking at no video game. And listen, you live in a world where you do things just because. They created this world where you do things just because. You can bet your bottom fucking dollar they do nothing just because. There is no way. Hear me when I tell you this. There is no way they would have made shooting people and grotesquely blowing brains out the number one thing to do for young black men at home and young white kids if it wasn't working. They would not spend billions of dollars on something that doesn't work. This is programming. Grand Theft Auto was the number one game. And now y'all running around talking about these kids been stealing cars for the last 5 years. Wonder where they got that from. Back in the days, a movie came out called New Jersey Drive. They were stealing cars and joyriding. What became the number one crime amongst young black kids? Stealing cars and joyriding. It's back now. So we can stop playing this game like they didn't name it television programming for a fucking reason. Television programming. That's for a reason. You're being programmed. Let's go back. A lot of y'all might not remember this, but you can look it up. Way back in the days in the 90s, not way back in the days, I know I'm getting old, but in the 90s, it was this youngster, that young kid, slightly overweight, used to love to watch wrestling. He had a little girl next door he was best friends with. They used to play together all the time. He babysitting, I think he was 12. He babysitting a little girl one day, and they watching wrestling. And he do the wrestling move he see on her and break the little girl neck and kill her. Huh? You can say whatever you want to say about that. But this really is a thing. Watching wrestling, did the wrestling move on a little girl and suplexed her, broke her damn neck. Went to jail, got abused from 12 to 18 while he was in jail. Came out, swole and all that. I don't think he made it 2 years before he killed somebody else and went back to jail. This is a real live thing. These people is not spending millions of dollars for nothing. You got personal opinions that stop you from being real individuals. You got personal beliefs that stop you from being a real brother, sister, or spouse. These things that we think make no sense. Like, for instance, we think that God wrote this book that's this big, and it has all the things that you should or shouldn't do in it, and that's really God's word. And we believe that this God is almighty and all-powerful. Yet this almighty, all-powerful God allowed his creation to hijack an entire planet and also hijack the one doctrine he ever put out for us. The almighty, all-powerful God wrote a doctrine for us, allowed his creation to take the planet, take the people, and take the doctrine. And every time we get deceived by this guy who took all of this shit from God like a gangster, we get in trouble for it. And even now I'm saying this, in your mind, you say, I'm disrespecting God. You're not even hearing what the fuck I just said. This has nothing to do about God. This has to do with the bullshit you believe. You believe in a God that would take you got to think about it. God is such an important concept to you all. So this God, this being that is so significant, so extraordinary, took the time out to write down instructions for you, basic instructions before leaving earth. Your God took the time to do that, only to allow his son, which is what the devil would have to be, his badass child, to hijack the planet, hijack the doctrine, and hijack the people that the doctrine was written for. And your God allowed its son to do that. Not us. We wasn't even fucking here yet. This shit, according to what they say, it was a war in heaven. We wasn't here yet. So when that shit happened, nobody was here yet. It was them mad at each other beefing. And as a result of them mad at each other beefing, that shit came down here. Now, Eve, according to the story, who is the last fucking person to enter this planet in this story, ends up the fall of civilization. How did she just got pulled out of a guy's rib like 30 minutes ago, and now she has damned civilization forever? Meanwhile, this guy has no accountability in any of this shit. And every time you get tricked by the same God that tricked God, deboed him, and then tricked his daughter, that same guy tricked you, who don't know half the shit any of these people know. And you get punished every time you get tricked. But this guy who orchestrated all of this shit before you ever existed has no accountability in any of this. I'm not questioning God. I'm questioning the dumb shit you believe. I have fairy tales that make more sense. Little Billy Goat's gruff makes more sense than half of the shit in that goddamn book. But you believe it. And you don't believe it because it's real. You believe it because you're lazy. I had people tell me, I spent so much of my life finding what's real. And I had people literally sit here willing to lose everything and damn themselves to hell over information that I know for a fact they're wrong. What makes a person so hell-bent on being right, knowing they're wrong and knowing they haven't studied? You don't got to be honest with me. Be honest with yourself. Why would you engage in a discussion with somebody about something that you know you didn't study and be willing to go to blows for it? Fear. And until we admit that, here we sit. This is fucking Stockholm syndrome. You are literally locked in the closet with the closet open and the key sitting on the bed. You wait till he come back and turn the TV on for him. Ask him, can you get him a cold soda? You literally could have left. So when I say all of these actors did some weird shit to become famous, they'll be like, oh, no, Once again, this is a weird thing that we have. Because a lot of things we don't agree on, but we agree on this one thing. We can't agree on where we came from, which I don't expect that. We're an oppressed, divided people. So for us to have a little friction about where we could have potentially started, I'm okay with that. But we all agree on one common denominator. Wherever they did it to us, that they did it. We can agree on that. We don't know how it happened. We don't know where it happened at. We don't know where we was at when it began, but we know it happened. And it happened to all of us. And it's still happening. That one thing we can agree on. But we can't agree that if the people who oppressed us, kidnapped us, enslaved us, whatever you want to call it, those people. I don't ever remember a point in human history where the people who initially offended us gathered us up in a large group and said, we're taking your ass back where we got you from. Or they said, the truth is we got you from here so you can have it back. Whatever the offense was, no one has ever corrected it. Whatever it was. You can argue amongst each other about what it was. I don't care. But whatever it was that they did to us, no one has ever undone it. So if no one has ever undone it, that leads me to believe that those very same people who did it are in power. Because if it wasn't the same people who did it to us, and it was some new people that's in power, then they would have a vested interest in telling the truth. So obviously, we got the exact same people in control of us that was at whatever point they took control. And if we can agree on it's the same people, and we can agree on something actually happened, then the only thing left is reality time. Why on earth would those people have anything set up that would allow you to get your shit back? I'm gonna say it again. Why would the people who oppressed you, took control of you, raped and robbed your ancestors, raped the men, raped the women, raped the children, lied about God, lied about your religion, lied about every fucking thing? Why would those people have a system set up for you to become a famous rapper, get rich, and actually fix your fucking life? You don't see any famous rappers that got rich and fixed their fucking life. You see a bunch of overgrown weirdos in makeup and all kind of other shit. They done drove LL and Young Jock so crazy, them motherfuckers got hairdos from the 1920s. What the fuck is that on LL head? I don't even think that's a wig. It looked like y'all remember Maury's wigs from Goodfellas. LL looked like he got that from Maury's wigs. But I'm just saying, look, this is just a game that we continue to play with each other. In your heart, you know fucking well it ain't supposed to be like this. So what are you waiting for? You so bound by this thing that you think you got called some type of relation. Well, I didn't even mean to say relationship, reputation. Everybody's so caught up in this reputation, this image that you created to protect yourself that don't even exist. You got like black men. We walk around all day and the look in our eyes is danger instantly. At any given moment, any two black men could see each other and erupt. It's that edgy. It's that intense. Two men who never seen each other, never met each other, would kill each other in a heartbeat over the wrong thing said. Which means you don't love yourself. If you can easily kill someone who looks like you, that's self-hate. But you don't see it like that because you don't identify with the whole. You really think like the black people in your family is your only relatives. That's because they taught you that. They tell you about all the tribal wars in Africa. Yeah. But Africans still knew they was African. The fuck do you mean? We just don't get along over here. Y'all come over here, we'll fuck y'all up. This is the realest moment you ever experienced. These are the days and times men and women write about. These are the things that get put on scrolls and get put on temple walls. These moments right here. And your ass watch rap video game and play video games. You watch rap music and play video games. During the times when the course of history is changing. They always talk about how Saturn is the most beautiful planet. And Saturn, for the last, ever since 2017, the thing that it has been synonymous with its beauty is its rings. The rings of Saturn have been depleting since about 2017, as far as they've been telling us. It's been longer than that, though. It's been happening for about 1,000 years. So now, if Saturn was the most beautiful planet, and Saturn in Hebrew is the equivalent of Satire, which is the equivalent of Satan. which is why people always say Saturn is synonymous with Satan. Satan was considered the most beautiful creature that God had created. So Saturn, the most beautiful planet, and Satan, the most beautiful creature. And then now they told you that this is the age of Aquarius, the information age, which means for the next 1,000 years, the most information that has ever hit this planet is about to be exposed to this planet, which means it's going to be impossible to stay under tyranny when you have the information to escape tyranny, aka the rings on Saturn are depleting. You follow me, family? See, this shit way thicker than y'all think. You just got to pay attention and understand that knowledge is fucking power. Ain't nothing slick about being a fucking idiot, not being able to provide your man or woman with quality information in time of need. If your man or woman turn to you and then they scared of the moment and they really need some information, it ain't got to be on the kings. You queens be up here with me getting laced with some of this real life consciousness. Some of y'all guys, maybe he worked too hard and maybe he ain't got nothing against consciousness, but he just worked real hard. Whatever. So sometimes you could take, man, sit down and kick this shit to him. Take these things, double back on them. Like, baby, I know you ain't have time, but let's check it out. Because these are the days and times where this information, this is what's going to get you through. No fucking jewelry and cars going. This is, according to y'all, this is the book of Revelations. The book of Revelations didn't say nothing about 26-inch rims. That shit ain't gonna save you. You got a 70-inch TV in your house. Who give a fuck? You ain't watching nothing on it. This is the moment that men and women write about. You gonna be a part of history whether you like it or not. It does depend on what they gonna say. Or they might not say nothing. And that means you was just here, but you wasn't really here. I refuse to be here and not be here. I refuse to not be here in this moment and not be here. My children will never look in my eyes and ask me, what did I do during these moments? And have me tell them nothing. Have me try to jive them and come up with something that sounds fancy knowing that I didn't do nothing. That'll never happen. And I ain't bragging on myself. I'm saying I started a movement before I became a Panther. Now, obviously, I was destined to become a Panther, but I didn't know that. I just got fed up in my own way. I started a clothing line off a hashtag. Just that simple. That was my contribution to my people until I could think of something else. That hashtag is what you're looking at behind my head. I turned a hashtag to a Black History Academy, the only one in America. We got to do better. Online academy. Black History, which means this is the only HBCU in America. And y'all don't even pay no attention. But you'll take your kids, your little black kids, and pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to send them off to them white folks to learn not a motherfucking thing. But she became a lawyer. I don't give a fuck. She ain't gonna do nothing but help white people get off. She became a doctor. I don't give a fuck. She ain't working on no black people. He became this, he became that. They don't do a motherfucking thing for black people. So you ain't do nothing but just raise some black white supremacists. No disrespect to nobody. But if you didn't raise your children to fight black white supremacy, then the only thing you did was assist it. Now, a lot of us didn't know. I'm not judging you, but I'm going to tell the truth. Sending your children off to white colleges to get jobs for white America only helps white America. Yes, it pays the bills. Yes, you can live fancy, talk slick, and go to parties. You're still a fucking slave. And that means you're going to raise slaves. Because if you didn't put no fucking effort into the revolution, then how the fuck can you expect anything out your kids? Y'all kill me. Y'all sitting around waiting for a white boy to come out the sky. Ain't nobody coming to save your ass. So what you gonna do, your lazy ass is gonna leave your children to a fucking hellhole. You already sitting around judging them, talking about, I don't know what's wrong with these youngins. You what the fuck wrong with them? You ain't never said shit that amounted to shit. So they ain't on shit. Can't save them all. And I wasn't father of the year. That's why I'm talking like this. Y'all think if you wasn't perfect, you can't tell people how to be. You call me a hypocrite. I ain't no fucking hypocrite because I'm telling you not to fuck up like I did. We say the stupidest shit. You didn't live like that. You a hypocrite. So fucking what? I didn't live like that. If I'm an alcoholic, I could be drinking a fifth and tell you the realest shit you ever heard. Y'all got your frequencies all fucked up with what you decipher is real and what's not. All the shit you think is real, you shouldn't be nowhere near. We do shit like, we got black men flicking up in pictures after the party. Everybody got a bottle in their hand. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Your pride is wrapped up inside of a liquor bottle from a white boy? Are you kidding me? This the shit we do, bro. What does that mean? You holding a fifth of yak in your picture like, bro, you're the only race on the planet that does clown shit like that. You don't see no fucking billionaires flicked up holding bottles and shit. You don't even see pictures. That's why you got to say, you got to Google who are the billionaires. You know why? Just think about that. You know every motherfucking rapper with a fat gold chain right now off the top of your head. But if you want to know who the billionaires are in this world, you got to Google them. You know why? Because a man with $1 billion don't give a fuck what you think about him or her. Nobody needs to see you when you're doing what you're supposed to do. The people who want to be seen are the people who are convincing you that they're doing some shit. They ain't doing shit. They just trying to convince you. That's why they need to be seen. Right now, I could have ran into the radio station late and ripped my pants so bad that I can't even wear them right now. So I literally could be sitting here with nothing but this shirt on. You would never know. What's my point? The manipulator knows how to manipulate. I paint you a picture like Picasso. You see what the fuck I want you to see. So stop thinking that this world has showed you its ugly fucking face. It has not. And that's why you do what you do. You under the illusion that there's some type of thing. I would literally hear black people say, I would tell them some conspiracy shit or what they deem to be conspiracy, and they'll be like, that ain't happened. They can't do that. Who the fuck is they and why can't they? Like, where is this thing at that says they can't do? People be sitting here talking about, man, the Constitution. So what the fuck the Constitution got to do with you? There was white boys talking to white boys. Not one white boy in the room was talking to you niggas when they wrote the Constitution. That's why they had to go back later and add some shit for you. Nobody was talking to you. Y'all be talking about the law. Nobody was making law for you. The only law for you was niggas stay in your place or we'll hang you. And it's still that way. They just don't use the rope no more. They hang you with numbers now. You rather had the rope. Numbers, lay your ass down. They'll put you so fucking far under the jail, you'll never be seen again. Ain't nobody got time to play with you. You all play. They not playing. I'm steady telling y'all the number one incarcerated being on the planet is the black man in America, and people want statistics. I don't need no fucking statistics. You tell me how many white people you'll see when you go to jail. I don't need no fucking statistics. The most people locked up is black men. We know this. All your fucking relatives locked up, and they always have been. We normalize prison. This is how normal it is. They set up a call system. So we lock you niggas up and then let you talk to your woman. And sit there and worry about your household that you can't do a fucking thing for. And now she got to take her hard-earned money and send you some of it. And while you in here making money for white boys, every day you sleep on their pillow. You can't use none of that money that you acquire while you there. Your people got to see some of their hard-earned money. So you get some, what? So you can do what? Get some snacks and deodorant and toothpaste. You got to buy stuff to wash your ass in a place that has turned you to a prisoner. What prisoner ever had to go shopping, bro? This is next level shit. You're not paying attention. Even the slaves on the plantation had shit waiting there for them. The slaves on the plantation got free shit, bro. You don't even got that type of respect no more. They don't even respect you like they did the slaves on the plantation, bro. And here you are, Mr. Fancy Pants, thinking you free now, thinking you so much better in these days and times. No, you're just a more cooperative slave. Stockholm syndrome. You cooperate now. That's why they give you so many fancy toys. Your ancestors fought, burnt shit, and ran. So they kept it to a minimum with them. I like it like that. That means I'm dangerous. When you minimize what you allow me to do, that means I'm dangerous. When you will let me come and go, you got the people who ruined your legacy and stole your planet from you. They let you walk around amongst them freely. And you don't do shit but say, excuse me, sir and ma'am, can I have an application? I ain't knocking you. I'm telling you what the fuck going on. Do you know what kind of confidence you have to rape me and then turn your back on me and let me feed you? Y'all not understanding. A person that will rape you and then allow you to feed them confidently. Go to sleep in the same motherfucking house right after they just raped a grown man. And dare him to do something. Nigga boy, you better go to bed. That man just defiled you in front of your wife. I ain't talking about the man that it happened to. I'm talking about the confidence of the man that did it. What make him that motherfucking confident? Every day he wake up with a smirk on his face, get in his fancy car, and live the life. You ain't got a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of, and you do all the partying. Imagine that. You the one popping bottles and partying every night. And you the one that ain't got shit. Who the fuck taught you that? And I'm supposed to say the music ain't got nothing to do with it. An irresponsible ass music somehow got nothing to do with an irresponsible ass culture. This the talk we gonna talk, huh? Who taught you that in a 24-hour day, you could spend most of it doing nothing connected to the way the world works and still survive? Who told you that? I don't want to hear no shit about my neighborhood. I don't want to hear no shit about this is how we was. I don't want to hear that shit. I want answers to specific questions. That's the motherfucking problem. You never get specific answers to specific questions. Who told you that in a 24-hour day, while white men and white women are working their ass off building an empire, you can do not shit having to do with the world, and you can do not shit having to do with rebuilding your people, and you gonna be all right? Who told you that? See, this is the shit y'all don't want to talk about. So I gotta be the sacrificial lamb, because you'll hate me for saying it, but you ain't gonna think it. So I gotta say it, and then everybody gotta say I'm bugging out. What's wrong with him? He radical. No, this is the real shit we don't want to deal with. You don't spend no fucking time in your 24 hours fighting white supremacy, but you want it to go away. Do you? Listen, that's about as stupid as me going to a fucking car lot and just imagine somehow I'm gonna drive off with a car. I don't got a checkbook. I don't got a bank account. I don't got no money. I haven't even talked to the car dealer, but I'm at the car lot. So I'm just assuming since I'm at a place where there are cars for sale, somehow I'm going to end up in one of them. That's what y'all do every day. They tell me this world is supposed to be fair. They tell me that Jesus is going to come save me. I can't prove any of this shit, but I believe it because they told me that. And so since the world is at some point going to be fair, and they told me things are getting better, because I see the old footage when they used to sick the dogs on us and bust our motherfucking head. So since they don't, see, this is how you get mercy out of nigga. Since they don't bust our head and sick dogs on us no more, it must be better now. They don't get to legally spray us with water hose no more, so it must be better now. We could rap and make a lot of money that we ain't going to do a fucking thing with, so the world better now. Rappers, actors, basketball players, y'all be like, well, they might have did something with their money. When's the last time you saw an actor, rapper, or athlete change the fucking world? Then don't assume shit if you haven't seen the results of it. If it's big, you tell me, but they just don't show their accomplishments. If it's big enough, you can't hide it. Can you hide a fucking whale? Or do you just got to deal with it being there? Okay, then. If what they was doing for our people was hitting hard enough, you'd have no choice but to know. If a basketball player could make fucking we'll say 4 million. This is lowballing. This is lowballing. I'm a lowball it. Let's say 5 million in one season. I'm on my third season. I get 5 million a season. And $1 million of that didn't go to where I came from. I ain't talking about donating to no fucking charity with white people name on it. I'm talking about go to my neighborhood, walk into the same dirty ass community center I used to play in, hand them a check and rebuild it. It's a professional team. It's a professional team in every major city. And most of those professional teams are predominantly black men. Why do we have raggedy neighborhoods? You want to still blame it on white America? Fuck them. Okay, they don't give a shit. Why y'all ain't brought y'all ass in there and did it? Y'all want to come in there and hand out turkeys and tennis shoes. I don't give a fuck about a turkey. We ain't supposed to be celebrating Thanksgiving. And you can keep your fucking gym shoes. I don't want to play basketball. I want to do something about white supremacy. So therefore, next time y'all bring your raggedy ass in the neighborhood, come with a check to fix it. Come with affordable housing. Write a check to the block and say, hey, ain't nobody paying rent here for the next couple months so my peoples can accumulate a bag. And then y'all say the stupid shit like, it's not their responsibility. Okay, if the black men, the warriors who found a way out of oppression and to the bag, if it's not their responsibility to take care of the village, who the fuck responsibility is it? It is basketball players' responsibility. It is football players' responsibility. Boxers, rappers, all of that shit, because they make too much money. And if all of them pitched in, there wouldn't be no such thing as poor black America. So stop coming to me with that bullshit talking about don't be pocket watching. I'm pocket watching, bank account watching your mama, watching your baby mama. I'm watching all that shit because you motherfuckers is crooks. You get rich because black people support you. Millions of dollars going to your bank account for black fans. But your neighborhood you came from still look like shit. And you got ball players talking about, I'm finna go hang in the hood. I hope they fucking shoot you while you're there. What kind of shit, what kind of games is y'all playing? No. It's your fucking responsibility to take care of your own because we are oppressed. So if you're sitting around here and you done made it, however you made it, and you're making millions, your responsibility is to find some more. You got ball players, they hang with each other. You hang with 4-5 ball players. Y'all can't all come up off. Fuck it. If you think $1 million is too much, which you cheap as fuck if you do, everybody come up off $500,000. Come up off $250,000. You got 5 guys. Y'all with the shit, y'all come up off $250,000 a piece, donate it. Do that every fucking season. $250,000 ain't shit to people who make $30 million. Yes, I'm pocket watching. I don't give a fuck who don't like it. You can't count nobody else's money. Says who? Yes, I can. I can because I know how to count and I can hear and I can see. So if I can hear it, I can see in your business out there, I can count it. So now that your business out there, I need to understand why you made $30 million and ain't give $250,000 to the black folks. Because if you made 30 million and black folks didn't see $250,000 flat out to black people, then fuck you, fuck your career, I don't care what happened to you. See, this is what's real. It's bad enough you choosing to be a slave on a plantation, so feed the masses. Because what y'all should have did is all came up, told that white boy go fly a fucking kite, and the NBA should have been all black 20 years ago. The NBA should have been all black 20 years ago. This 2022. We're still slaves. You got people, slick Negroes like Jay-Z, get on the microphone and talk about we still slaves. He give you all the game on how you supposed to be better. Where your money going, sir? How many black communities have you uplifted? I ain't seen nothing about Marcy projects getting remodeled. They'll take you to the hood, show you videos of them in the hood. Okay, when we done with this interview, is you gonna drop a check, you piece of shit? You come to this neighborhood, glorify and get your ego stroked and get your image out there. Then you leave that neighborhood and don't do shit for it. You buy your mama and auntie and them and take them shopping and buy them some toys and you feel accomplished. Nigga, drop a meal on these project builders. You a rap about pissy hallways, but you won't clean them up? See, this is all the shit. It's all infested. And it's one thing. And it's all engulfed around denial. Because as soon as we stop denying that this shit exists, the solution make common sense. It's illogical to support professional athletes and live in the projects. That's the dumbest shit ever. If you stay in a city and you have predominantly black basketball and predominantly black football team, professional, and you still are poor, your neighborhood hasn't got fixed by these black men that are making millions. And you know why? Because the only thing you require is an autograph. If he sign your basketball or your piece of paper, you'll feel accomplished. If they touch your hand, y'all gonna wash your hands for days and shit. But you don't require millionaire men, big swole warriors. You don't require them to take care of the women and children. You watch LeBron James go get into a $10 million mansion or whatever the fuck with all these gadgets and gadgets, and the people who support him live in townhouses, and y'all don't require shit for that because your mind say that's his money. No, it's not. White boys gave it to him to keep you stupid. Ain't his fucking money. Money don't exist. You know what they do? So that he keep you a blind slave, they go to his bank account and they type in numbers. When they tell a fucking guy he just made $30 million, nobody comes to you and hands you $30 million, ass. They just go to your account and type in 30 million. That's it. And then you take your piece of plastic and you go to a store and they give you credit for your plastic. This is a credit limit. It's not money. This is a credit limit. And they dictate how much you, and then if they get mad at you, they can cut all that off. Then you'll be poor. So then how does money exist? This is the fucking game that we're repeatedly falling for. And it's all because of denial. You refuse to look in the mirror and just be honest. It starts with just that moment of clarity and saying, okay, all right, good one. Good one. Somebody punch you in the eye, your eye closed, you shouldn't ever talk about nobody hit me. No. Good one. Okay, I got to go back to the drawing board. You're afraid to admit that it's easy to admit the slavery part because that's an abusive offense. But it's the manipulation you hate. You won't admit for shit to the fact that you're repeatedly being manipulated. That's all this conspiracy word means. That just means if I tell you something and you say conspiracy, that means I'm telling you there's a way that you're being manipulated, and you're telling me you don't believe it. Well, if I'm manipulating you, you're not supposed to see it. So if I'm telling you you're being manipulated and you're telling me it's not happening, that means the person doing it is winning, because you're not supposed to see manipulation. At least the victim ain't. What made you want to talk about Stockholm Syndrome? Black people are mascots for brands when they make it. As of recent, we have become more business minded. It's hard to be business minded when you don't own anything. So we're more business minded, but we have not escaped consumerism. So more business minded at this stage of the game simply means we'll become smarter consumers. Until we take our culture and our land back, then the only thing we can ever be is better consumers, because everything they own. So we're going to always have to consume from them and pay for what we want. Whatever dream and vision we have, we are forever at the mercy of them, because we have to buy it from them. People be talking about they got their own business. You got it because the white boy said you could have the building. What if he say no? Then your business idea is stagnant until you find somebody who's willing to work with you. So now, I do appreciate us having that new direction to where we even care about business. I like the way that that's coming. But realistically, we cannot become better businessmen until we completely understand what business really means. Businesswomen, businessmen and women. No disrespect to the queens. We have to really understand what that means. And what becoming a better businessman and woman means is this. Understanding business is about having the best commodity and knowing your market. Okay, the best commodity on this planet land, oil, and melanin. They currently control all three. You can talk faster to me all you want to. The most important thing on this planet, land, oil, melanin. They control all three. Until you get comprehension of that part, everything else is just, as they say, whistling Dixie. We have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Out of chaos comes order. So it is in those uncomfortable moments we reinvent ourselves, because nobody likes to be uncomfortable. So when, as they say, pressure busts pipes, it does, but it also creates diamonds. In those uncomfortable pressure moments, we reinvent ourselves. We shed the fear self, and then we start to elevate towards that pineal energy. Fear is a fucking disease, and it seeps in you, and it destroys ambition. And that's what has happened to us. A continual, perpetual state of fear that has been passed down generationally has almost completely destroyed our ambition. Luckily for us, it's the age of Aquarius, and the planet has agreed to work with us. So It's time to get busy, family. We got no more excuses. Knowledge is the only real power. Information is the only real currency. I love y'all. I'm gone. Almost.